Hi, I'm Aaron Cox, and this is my Module 5, Understanding Our Community. I am a social studies teacher that's been teaching for 8 years, but this is my first year at Mill Valley High School and USD 232. So this assignment's been a unique experience for me because I've had to basically dive in and find out more about the community that really I'm pretty new to. So here is what I found out and what I learned. USD 232, DeSoto School District, it's made up of over 7,300 students within 12 schools. So 7 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools. It is a unique district in the fact that district lines cover almost 100 square miles in the northwest corner of Johnson County. So it covers multiple communities within the district. The city of DeSoto, the western part of Shawnee, parts of Lenexa, and then a small portion of Olathe and surrounding rural areas. Now, because of the unique setup of the district, most of the students that attend Mill Valley High School live in Shawnee. So when I look at the customs and traditions and also the demographics, I'm going to focus on Shawnee, Kansas for that. Now, looking at Mill Valley, just like many of the high schools around the country, homecoming and prom are a big deal. I haven't had a chance to experience prom yet, but I did experience homecoming, and there was a lot of student attendance. There was a lot of excitement for it, and I think that shows the pride that the students have here at Mill Valley. Something else that was put together to try to increase student pride and has really worked is the Class Cup, and that's a competition between classes based on attendance for activity of the week, school cleanliness, and fundraising participation. So basically each class has the opportunity to earn points. The winning class for each quarter gets the Class Cup. Now, the class that wins the most quarters wins the final prize, which is a day trip during school hours. Past winners have went to the KC Zoo, the Kansas City Royals games, or even just went to the shopping district and went to a movie. So really it's up to the class, and it's a unique way to get that school spirit up and get that buy-in. Looking at the city of Shawnee, some of the customs and traditions. Old Shawnee Days is a city carnival. It takes place on the last weekend of May. I moved up on the last weekend of May this year, last year as of yesterday, so I didn't get to experience it, but I look forward to attending this year. Also, in the fall is the Scarecrow Festival, which is something that groups at Mill Valley High School, student groups, take part in, and really it's a family-centered fall festival. Something else that is new to me is the Cinderella's Ball, which is a dance for dads and daughters in the city of Shawnee. And since I have 2 young daughters, it's definitely something that I'll be attending in the future. Now, looking at the USD 232 population characteristics, when we're looking at the sex, 52% are male, 48% female. The second piece of data there is graduation rates, and that's something that many administrators and teachers USD 232 take pride in. As you can see, since 2014, the graduation rates for USD 232 have continued to rise. They started out in 2014 at about 96% and are now about 98%, which is well above the state average. When we look at population characteristics, there's not a lot of diversity within the school district, so not a lot of multicultural issues, but unfortunately students don't experience much multiculturalism within the community. And I'll touch on that a little bit more later on. Now, the little social tension that does exist comes from the economic disparity within the population. When you look at USD 232, almost 88% of the students come from non-economically disadvantaged homes, whereas the state of Kansas, on average, they're at about 52%. So well above the state average when looking at socioeconomic status. Now, this leads into some of the social tensions that I have seen, and I feel like they stem from socioeconomic status. From talking to coworkers and students throughout the year, I feel that there is a smaller percentage of students that do come from lower SES homes, so sometimes there is tension between them and students who come from middle to higher class families. Now, looking at Mill Valley High School and communication channels, this is something that I've been very impressed with throughout the year. I feel like the students do a great job of telling about their school because they have a lot of pride in it, and them doing that gives the community and their parents access to the information as well. One example of that is MVTV News, which is a student-produced news program that plays live every Thursday during seminar, which is our homeroom. And I can tell you that every student and many of the teachers, myself included, look forward to MVTV. Also, old episodes are available on the school website, so parents, people in the community can watch it. And it's set up just like a regular news channel. It has segment on sports, segment on weather, also daily school news and what's going on around the area. So pretty neat way for students to communicate what's going on with them in the school. And then also a similar type of communication channel is the Mill Valley newspaper, which is printed and handed out monthly. Obviously, we also have our school website and district website, and many of the teachers use Google Classroom and or Blackboard to post class assignments and class information, which is obviously accessible to the students, but also for parental access as well. Now, real quick, to touch on language, this is an example of lack of diversity in the school district. ELL students make up only 4% of the district student population, but Mill Valley High School has an even lower percentage since most Spanish-speaking students live in DeSoto, so they attend DeSoto High School. Community news channels, since Shawnee is a part of Greater Kansas City, there's a lot of access to various radio and TV news channels. Social media, just like other areas, Facebook and Twitter are very popular, and also neighborhood apps. Many people are very tied to their neighborhood, so many people have the apps to discuss neighborhood information and also buy and sell trade goods. Community groups in Shawnee that influence Mill Valley High School. The Shawnee Rotary Club provides a community connection for some of the fundraisers and charity opportunities that the school and the students take part in. The Chamber of Commerce, of course, provides many of the business connections that the school uses to connect to the community. And the police and fire departments have clubs through MVHS that allow the students interested in law enforcement to attend and get hands-on experience that maybe they'll use in their future profession. When we look at USD 232 leadership and community, at the top you have the Shawnee Mayor, Michelle Dissler. She has been mayor for 3 years now, or almost 3 years. She has been very involved with the schools, especially Mill Valley High School. She's toured the high school. She's taken part in Relay for Life. And when the football team won the state championship last year, she presented them a key to a city. So very accessible and involved with the school. USD 232 superintendent is Mr. Frank Harwood. He is currently serving his second year as superintendent. He does send emails to the district teachers and is accessible if you have a question or something that you want him to know. From all accounts, he seems to be doing a very good job, and I haven't heard anything but positive comments about him. Somebody that I think very highly of and is always very professional, and at the same time very clear with their principles and structure and what they believe in, and that's Mr. Toby Waldeck. He is Mill Valley High School's principal, and I've only been here a short time, but he's somebody that I want to continue to learn more from. I think he does a really good job. Economic conditions of Shawnee, Kansas. The population is 64,125, but not all of Shawnee students attend Mill Valley High School. It's just under half, I believe. So that kind of changes the demographics a little bit. I will say, when we look at the school socioeconomic status, it is pretty high when compared to other districts around the state. The median age in Shawnee is about 37, and the household income is $77,271. So kind of shows what I was talking about earlier, with many of the students coming from high to middle class families. The poverty rate is at 7.5%. Some of the major industries, I put the top 5 there. Healthcare and social assistance are at the top. Educational services is in the top 5 as well, and then manufacturing. So a lot of the service industry is a part of the jobs that are available here in Shawnee. Political structure of Johnson County. The school district falls under Johnson County, so this county is made up primarily of conservatives, which is definitely true for the school district. I'm not seeing any political tension, and really the school board seems to work well with each other in the schools. They seem to hold education over politics. Power struggles, I don't feel like I've lived in the area long enough to have a complete understanding of the power structure, but at this point I feel that the school board and the community believe in quality education, and they really work together to provide it. I can't say enough good things about what I've experienced so far in the school district. Now, I do know that in 2000 the school district opened up Mill Valley High School, and for a time there was some tension between DeSoto and Shawnee, and obviously I learned this from others that have lived in the area a lot longer than I have, but over time things have gotten a lot better, and really I haven't seen any tension. Multicultural issues, like I have mentioned a few times, there's not a lot of diversity in Shawnee, and so a lot of students aren't exposed to multiculturalism outside of the classroom, which can potentially, I feel, be an issue for students who go on to college or move out of the district. But I feel it's up to the teachers in the classes. For example, I teach world geography, so it's up to me and others to teach multiculturalism and expose students to diversity as much as possible. Getting real low on time, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker so I can make it. But parent and student surveys. Parent surveys are conducted during the fall and spring parent-teacher conferences, which they're asked things about school climate, and that goes to my public opinion. I don't have the data to back it up, but I think that public opinion is very high of the school district. Hope you enjoyed it.